Yes, it's another daisy. What can I say? I'm addicted to these things. I think they are truly wonderful little air rifles. Now, this is a daisy model 155. These were made from around about 1931 through until the mid to late 1950s, with a break for the Second World War because the daisy factory was turned over to the war effort from, I think, something like 1941 through to the end of the war. So these were made for quite a long time, so in theory there should be a lot of these out there. Difficult again to come by in the UK. Obviously, daisy being an American-made gun, this was made at the Plymouth, Michigan factory. But I was very lucky enough, spotted this on a dealer's website where I'd got one of my previous daisies, which was, and they're very, very good. Now, this one is in pretty damn good condition. We'll close in on it and we'll run from one end to the other. Now, I think the stock has been refinished. It's in very, very good condition, but I think that that's not the original finish. It's far too nice for that to have lasted all this time and be that good. But that's okay. It's in good condition. I'm sure it's the original stock, which is nice. We come down here, we got one of the straight aluminium daisy levers. And the other nice thing I'm really pleased about with this, quite often with daisies, the original bolts are missing and someone has put screws in place, but I haven't had this apart yet, but I'm fairly certain they are the original bolts and the original nuts, which is just great. It's got a really nice action to it, operates fairly well. I haven't fired anything through it yet, mainly because I want to take the shot tube out and clean it before I put anything through it. But someone's already had a go at removing the finish on this gun. Probably got very rusty and they've had a go at cleaning it up with probably a wire brush. We'll take it right back down to the metal and re-blue the barrel, much like I did with the previous daisy. Now, why I'm really excited about this one is because this is my first bottle cap daisy. I'll close in on the muzzle so you can see that. Now, these are called bottle caps simply because this looks like a bottle cap. Now, the purpose of this is, on these particular guns, the way you load the BBs in is by turning that bottle cap on the muzzle very slightly, which allows you to drop BBs into a hole in the front muzzle. I'll turn the gun around so you can see that properly. Now, there is the loading gate, which is covered up by this little plate here. Now, what I will do is I will rotate the bottle cap slightly. There you go, and that's where you put your BBs in. And this is a gravity fed gun, so the BBs are free to rattle around inside the chamber here. These were often called rattle trap guns because the noise they make when the BBs are in there. But the idea is that you load the BBs in and then you rotate this back. There we go. And that little cover plate, it stops the BBs from falling out if you tip the gun muzzle down. So that's what that's there for. But the other thing about this is that's really nice about these guns is the shot tube is attached to this bottle cap, and you can unscrew it completely and pull the shot tube out, which is really useful because if you've got a BB stuck in the gun, there's not really any other way of getting it out. You need to be able to get to the other end of the shot tube, and this allows you to do that. We'll just have a quick look down the other side. As I said, the stock is in very, very good condition. And so is the rest of it. Those all look like the original nuts on there, which is great. Hopefully this should clean up really nicely, and then I'll be able to re-blue it, and it should look like new when it's finished. Right, I've taken the shot tube out so we can have a nice close look at that. The shot tube is in good condition. This is not a seamless tube. There is a split down this tube. These were just rolled, these tubes. But the seam is in really good condition on this one, which is great, which obviously you don't want any gaps in that seam because it's going to leak air. So this is in good nick. I'll bring you down to the other end. So that is the end of the shock tube, where the BBs, they run down this little gap here, and that's literally the breech there. That's where they drop into, and that's it really. That's how it works. So that's why it's called gravity feed. So you have to lift the gun muzzle up when you cock it, otherwise you won't get a BB into the shot tube. Well, I've just run the first patch down through the shot tube, and I think you can see it's pretty disgusting. Black, basically. So I'll put a few more patches through and see if we can get most of the crud out of the shot tube. If you're interested in how I'm cleaning the shot tube, this is wire locking wire, and I thoroughly recommend, if you've got a workshop, make sure you've got a spool of wire locking wire handy. It's got 1001 uses, quite apart from being used as locking wire. It's brilliant for all sorts of other things. Anyway, a little bit of wire locking wire down through the shot tube. This is some gun cleaning patches. There's just 2 patches there, and then you simply pull them through. And they come out the other end looking like that. Now, I'll probably just put a couple more through. That's a lot cleaner than it was when I first put the first one through. So I'll put a couple more through, and that will be the shot tube nice and clean then. Well, I just fired it for the first time. Just put 6 BBs through it over my 8.5 meter range. So let's have a look, see how we did. Well, I'm quite pleased about that. Bear in mind, I've never fired this Daisy before. So we've got one there, one there, one there, one there on the 5 ring. Really smart. One there and one there. So, yeah, they're a bit all over the place. But then, like I said, I've not fired this before. It's not particularly powerful, but let's say that's at 8.5 meters. That's pretty good. And, you know, that was freestanding. I wasn't using rest or anything. So I'm well pleased with that. I may well, like several of my other Daisies, I may well in the future upgrade these if I can ever get hold of some of these cobalt springs, because they would definitely benefit from that. But no, for first shots with this Daisy 155, not bad at all. Well, that's about it for the first stage. So the next thing to do is get it all stripped down so that I can start work on the receiver and barrel, get it cleaned up, ready for bluing.